Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Sulia podcast. Today, let's talk about the Chelsea Spurs game. And I would want to talk about Mohammed Kudus and what kind of a stinker he had in that game. And it's very important that this is stated. And it's the confidence like we have as Ghanaians. We believe in Kudus, we believe in players like that, and how tactically these players we have confidence in can be shackled. Like they are not as invincible as we think. They are not as invincible as we would like to portray. That was a very tough game for Mohammed Kudus. But then again, if you look at the type of player Mohammed Kudus is, the system in which he plays is what helps him to become a good player. This is the last thing I would expect from a Thomas Frank side. But then Spurs do not have that attacking impetus, or they are rarely in the final third. They are heavily reliant on someone working some kind of magic. Even when they won against Everton last week, their performance was not impressive, and it's very, very baffling. If you look at the quality, I think the Spurs team has improved. And every season, they no longer have like subpar players or mediocre players. These are talented players. But then again, there's so many defensively minded midfielders and players in that team. Little bit of creativity. The creativity they have now is in Xavi Simons, who, let's be honest, Xavi Simons has had a couple of good seasons, but he's not a world beater. We were expecting him to be a world beater in Spurs, and that is just not showing off. And he's really escaped the 007 thing by just assisting in his very first game and then disappearing. So look at the midfield. They have Palina, they have they have Bentancur, they have Pab Matesa. Even I think Bissouma is no longer going to be in his plans. But that midfield is too defensive minded. And then the only people who can help in the midfield to be offensive or create are very few or non-existent, because Kudus, who is the creative player, supposed to be the creative player, does not even play in the midfield. He plays on the wing. So Spurs' problems are like a lot. But on to Chelsea, I think Chelsea is heavily reliant on a few individual brilliance. And again, like I said last week, some of these players are not qualified to play for Chelsea. They are just not it yet. And I saw someone say on Twitter, and it was correct, Maresca coached a 5-0 win. But how we're able to score just by one goal, Gittins, come on. So the Chelsea players, they need to get their act together.